guys, it's Heather from Tomatoes, Poppies, and Everything Gardening. Today we're going to work on my indoor flower seedlings that I started, 3 weeks ago, I think. Actually, they've been outside for the last couple days, and they had a lot of days on and off outdoors last week. So they're ready to get potted into little individual pots, and I need to decide where we're going to put them. Some we may actually direct sow, but I doubt it. I think they need a little time in an individual pot before I put them directly into the ground. I'm also going to cover some of my winter sown flowers today, and we will probably maybe direct sow a couple of those. I've lost my hori knife, so I'm kind of like at a standstill. I've been going around all the flower beds looking for it. Probably just have to use a shovel, or like a little hand spade. I wanted to update you on the lavender. So remember, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera. Remember, we pinched all of the lavenders a week ago. And this is the one I've decided to keep indoors. Well, it's going to be a house plant, basically. I may actually take it outside some this summer. But over the winter and the fall and the early spring, I plan to just do an experiment and see if I can keep lavender alive as a house plant. So I started this from seed the last week of December. And I've kind of documented that journey along the way. You can back up and see that. So I ended up, out of 6 seeds, I ended up with 4 viable seedlings. And this is one of them. And last week we kind of chopped them all at the top, pruned them. I don't even know if you can see where I cut it. Yeah, I think you can, right there in the center. And now you can see it started to branch off into 2 separate main branches. So the other 3 seedlings, they're outdoors. I'm going to put those into the landscape. We did the same thing. We kind of pruned the tops off, and they are also branching. They actually don't look as big and fluffy as this one, but that's okay. I think once we get them into the ground, they'll do great. So if you've been watching any of my videos, you know that this little contraption in my kitchen bay window is where I keep my seedlings, like my nightshades and summer stuff, for like 4 weeks. So now that they're in the outdoor little greenhouse, this contraption I will be taking up to the attic probably later today. And I'm going to transition my house plants now that the foliage on the trees in the woods behind me is starting to come in. This window will become very shaded. So a lot of these houseplants will do fine here in the summer, but they don't do well here in like late fall, winter, when there are no leaves on the trees above me and behind me. Also, I have not made a decision about this indoor tomato plant. So I'm kind of realizing now that the sun is going to be less in this window, I'm not going to be able to keep him alive forever with a grow light. What will I do with him? I don't know. I think I actually have a little seedling there. So I don't know how that happened unless I dropped a seed. I'm not sure what to do with him. If I put him into the ground after hardening this plant off, this tomato plant, I will probably, goodness, it's going to have to be an awful big trench to handle his vining here. I'm not sure what to do with him. I mean, he's been alive since July of 2022. I'm going to have to think on this. I really don't know. I'm going to miss him, actually. He's a cute plant. He's still trying to put on buds. I've been pinching these off, though, because he's starting to get really lanky over here. But over here under the grow light, wow, he's still pretty thick stemmed. I may actually take some more suckers off of him and try to propagate those. And I did see a really nice sucker. Oh, here it is. I don't know if you can see it. It's behind this bar right here. That is a really nice sucker. So I may take that off. So I've got transition outside, inside, lots of things going on. But let's get outside so that we can get those seedlings checked on and potted up. And I meant to do this a few days ago. This is my Bells of Ireland that I froze solid in its own little planting cup. because it wasn't germinating, so I just wrapped it and stuck it in the freezer. Now I'm going to move it to the refrigerator for a day or two, and then I think I will introduce it to the shade outside, and then maybe part sun and then full sun, and see what happens. So I'm going to put this in the fridge and we're going to head up. Okay, here are the other 3 little lavender seedlings. They're looking pretty good. So only 1 spider milkweed germinated. I think I'll put that right in the ground. And common milkweed. My neighbor walked outside, so I'm going to voice over the rest of this video. You saw the straw flowers. That was the last jug we just took a peek out of. And this, I can't even read the label. I'm trying to think of what that is. I can't read the label on that either. But the point is, well, this one's pretty far along. I think this is my, what was that? Can't think. Goodness. I know that this is the Gomfrina. And these are my indoor seedlings for flowers that I started indoors. So they look really great. They've been spending a lot of time outside, and I'm showing you the names on the cups as we go. I'm moving very quickly, so it's hard to think and talk as quickly as I'm moving in the video. Oh, that's the celosia. That'll be really pretty. In the first video in this series on the indoor flowers, I did show you pictures of each seed that I was going to plant. This is my, I know I've got some heuchera in there. Maybe, astilbe. Yeah, some astilbe. And what is that right there? The asters. Yeah, 2 different shades of aster. They look really nice. We do have some cold weather coming, and the coleus, that will definitely have to come in the next few nights. I think over the weekend it's going to get down to like 38 overnight. The geraniums, I did end up potting those, and we're going to see that here in just a second. But I wanted to show you what I was using as a mix. So I've got a big old giant pan that I filled with half of the Moisture Control Miracle Grow, and then half of my Pro Mix that I like to use. It has a lot of moisture retaining abilities. So I found this pot on the deck. I didn't have anything in it. I decided I'm going to put my geraniums in there, and they're not regular geraniums. These are perennial geraniums. And I had to mix up with the cups there for a second, but I got it worked out so the right plant is going in the right pot, because these guys need shade. And then did I show it to you yet? Yes, right there. See, that's a baby fern that self-seeded itself or self-planted itself. I'm going to dig that up and put it in the pot with the perennial geranium. And then I didn't know where to put this pin cushion. Yeah, pin cushion flower. It's the one that is called Dark Night, and it's so gorgeous. It's one of my favorite. So I'm kind of looking in this area because it's full sun, and I've grown it 2 prior years, and it was in the front yard, but I wanted to try the side yard this year. So I'm looking for the perfect spot. And I think what I'm going to end up doing is going with that pot there that has the thyme. And I also have, what's the name of that lily? The stargazer lily. I've tried to grow that for like 3 years. My friend who passed away, her name was Kim, that was her favorite flower. So I keep trying and trying. I've tried all different seasons, in ground, in containers. I cannot get those bulbs to germinate. I don't know why. So I planted some last summer in there, and I don't think that they germinated. I stuck my hand down in there, and I didn't feel anything. But I did plant those pin cushions in there. And then I wanted to clean up this pot, and then I realized, look at all those baby heucheras. from this plant, it must have dropped its seeds, and they're all around the pot. So I'm going to wait. I'm showing you the seeds right there. I'm going to wait until I can transfer all of those babies into a little container before I add some soil and fertilize. They really don't need to be fertilized, but I might give him just a touch of plant tone and some new soil on top. My columbine finally opened. Isn't it just so pretty and so delicate? I think they also call it Granny's bonnet because it leans down. And there was some baby who grows in that fern pot too. So this is what the perennial geranium and the little fern. I've got a few done. I've got quite a few more to go, but this is the process. I'm just putting them into small little pots, 2-inch basically. And these are my asters. I'll fill up a whole tray with these guys. This is the gomphrena, strawberry gomphrena. And that's it, guys. I think it's gonna storm in a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, and I will talk to you guys soon. If it gets below 45 before I get these in the ground, I will take them inside and or put them in the greenhouse if I can maintain the temperature above 50. So I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great gardening day. Bye.